Hi, Dr. Jo Messenger here. Thanks for tuning in. A quick thank you to all of the people who came along to Susanna Steele and my collaboration, the ADSOM I Am Present workshop last week. It's wonderful to see so many people still committed to fulfilling their life purpose, to carrying on with their personal work and their community work, regardless of what's happening in the world around them. So big thank you. And let's have a little bit of a chat today about the decision that you make personally, whether to quit or whether to show up. Because the energies in the world at the moment are obviously rather intense. And deep down inside, you know that you personally were born for a reason. So will you continue to fulfill that purpose? Will you continue to follow that reason? Or will you listen to the little voice that goes, you know what, I've had enough, I'm tired, and quit? Because really it comes down to your life's journey comes down to you. And I really encourage you to live your life with the future intent in mind, that at the end of your life, you look back with as minimal regrets as possible. Do you follow me? Because you know that you're unique. You know that there is no one exactly like you. No one sounds like you, looks like you, has the experiences and the wisdom that you have. And there are people in the world, there are people in your family, there are people in your community that can really benefit from your particular wisdom. There are people still struggling with the issues and the problems that you have already overcome. So even if you're a bit exhausted from the overcoming, even if you're a bit fed up with the, continual barrage of the lessons and the experiences, I invite you to consider to please still show up for the people who are still struggling with what you've already mastered. Your decision. You can quit or you can show up. And with that context, we're on the downhill, run to the end of the year. And quite typically in years gone by, come New Year's Eve, we make our resolutions for the next year. We make our decisions of what we're going to fulfill for the next year and what we're going to stop doing for the next year. And next year, the beginning of the year, there are 3 really strong planets retrograde. Mars, which can be a bit fiery and a bit feisty, a bit fighty. It can also be high momentum, and Uranus, which is the wake-up calls, the shocks, the, get on with your purpose. And there's one more, I forget. Oh, Saturn. Saturn is also retrograde at the very beginning of the year. And Saturn is the restrictions, the structure. So if you don't know what you're going to be doing next year, if you haven't made that decision beforehand, whether you're going to quit or whether you're going to show up and what that showing up looks like for you, the beginning of next year has the potential to be very slow and frustrating for you, because your old limitations, your old restrictions, the old, negative mind chatter will have an opportunity to blossom if you don't stay on top of it, rather than if you've made the decisions to show up and continue and do whatever it is that you do best next year, so that can prevail rather than the negative. Do you follow me? So it would be wise between now and the end of the year to be, entertaining the possibilities, the different timelines that are available to you and your skill set, your experiences, wherever you are in the world or wherever you are placed with online presence, etc. What you have an affinity with. How will you use that next year? Because Also, in the transition from the so-called old earth to the new earth, from the so-called third dimensional reality to the fifth dimensional reality, from the so-called me and my consciousness to unity and community consciousness, it's a 20-year cycle which started in 2012. And this solstice, this Christmas solstice, or, not everybody follows the Christian calendar. So the 21st, 22nd of December at the end of this year, the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere, the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, is the midpoint of that 20-year cycle from 2012 to 2032. So this December 22 in 2022 is that midpoint. So it's kind of like you want to have dealt with as much as your previous baggage as possible prior to that date, because then you're over the hump in the roller coaster, and if you've done your inner work, you have the opportunity to cruise down the other side throughout your next 10 years. But you have to make that decision yourself. You have to make the decision whether to quit or whether to show up. Do you follow me? Listen to your heart. Don't listen to the negativity of the people around you, especially the people who habitually criticize you and don't want you to do well, the naysayers. Listen to your own heart, listen to your own positivity, listen to your soul, listen to the people who truly know what your gifts, tools, talents, abilities, and power are that you have the ability to use for the greater good. If you would like to have an online workshop to help you get clear on what that is, to let go of the frustrations, to get clear on what you would like to be doing next year. So probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours one evening soon in the next couple of weeks. Shoot me a message in the comments below, and if there's enough people that want that, then I'll organise it. And if you prefer to just continue to do your own thing and follow along your own particular plans or quit, then completely up to you. Let me know. Oh, until then, remember, laugh lots and you get more of what you think about.